Hello there and welcome. This is Mikhail or Maiko speaking, and as always, before this video starts, I want to say thank you all who decided to support me financially, be it through Patreon, PayPal, or Super Thanks. I am very grateful for your generosity, so thank you friends and have a blessed day. Today's video I will start with Zaporozhian front, and first let's touch situation on the Vremevsky tactical bridgehead. In the last 24 hours, Ukrainians heavily intensified their attacks and attempts at advancing here in this sector. For example, they have conducted a massive attack in the direction of Staromayorske across the open fields and from Rivnopol. This attack came in much significant numbers than the previous ones, which made Russians to believe that this is going to be something big. Russians quickly reinforced their formations and counter-attacked Ukrainians, successfully throwing them back, rendering any Ukrainian success here in this sector useless. While the battle in between Rivnopol and Staromayorske carried on, Ukrainians assaulted Russian positions from Novodarivka and Livadne. Although this attack came second, it would seem that this attack was in fact the main one. Due to the fact that Russians were already preoccupied, they were unable to reinforce this sector thoroughly, and as a result of that, Ukrainians were able to capture a significant amount of territory here in front of Priyutne. Their attack from Livadne towards Priyutne, however, did not see any success. If we are to use topography map, we can see that the settlement of Priyutne is basically the only Russian-controlled settlement that is located on this tactical height. As a result of successful Ukrainian attack from Rivnopol and Novodarivka, Russians were forced to retreat, and as recent report suggests, they took defense behind this galley and river lines. Here, let me zoom in and show you the galley, what I'm talking about, closer. So it would seem Russians took defense behind it and along these three lines. As you can see, the front line is getting very close to the settlement of Priyutne, which of course served as a logistical hub for the Russian forces on the very edge of front line. And perhaps this Ukrainian attack showed weakness in Russian defensive lines, and we are to expect more attacks coming this way. So, the general situation on the Vremevsky tactical bridgehead. Here, Ukrainians have achieved certain success and advanced closer to the settlement of Priyutne. Attack from Livadne, Ukrainian attacks from Rivnopol, and in the general direction of Staromayorske also failed. Ukrainian attack in the direction of Urozhaine across the open field and in the direction of Novodonetsk from the settlement of Zlotaniva also did not see any success. Then from Vremevsky tactical bridgehead, let's move to the Orikhiv front line. Here, in the last 24 hours, Ukrainians were launching continuous attacks in attempt to reach settlement of Nesteryanka, penetrate Russian defensive lines in front of Rabotina, and enter settlement of Novopokrovka. Ukrainian attacks in the general direction of the settlement of Kapani failed. However, next Ukrainian assault in the direction of Rabotina, here to the east of this road, achieved relative success, with Ukrainians being able to penetrate Russian defensive lines few hundred meters deep and capture some of the trench lines. However, the success quickly turned into a failure as Russians started smashing against newly acquired Ukrainian positions with all their might. At first, artillery pinned down Ukrainian forces, and then Russians moved in to clear and retake recently lost positions. Then let's move to the Lapkova Pyatikhatki settlement. Now, Pyatikhatki again mostly is being claimed as Ukrainian controlled. However, recent reports suggest that this settlement is still in the gray zone. All throughout last week, Ukrainians were senselessly throwing their own infantry against Russian positions on the tactical heights in the direction of Zheribyanki. Those attacks did not achieve nothing but great loss of armor and men. And I've seen reports from the front line that Russian forces that are located here in the trench lines in front of Zheribyanki are reporting of a very foul smell that is coming their way. Basically, the fighting in this sector was so heavy that Ukrainians were unable to recover their dead. Recent reports also suggest that Ukrainians are in the process of regrouping here in this sector. Whether they will double down and attack again or stop attacking here and relocate most of their troops elsewhere is unclear. However, we will know it in due time. Generally, Ukrainians had become very active here in this sector, again especially in the Vremevsky tactical bridgehead, and as they started attacking, more and more videos of destroyed Ukrainian equipment is coming in. Here's the video of, in fact, 2 destroyed Ukrainian tanks burning up, and a 1 infantry fighting vehicle burning as well. I also have a video of a failed Ukrainian tank attack somewhere in Orikhiv sector. This video is remarkable in its quality, and I felt like I have to show it to you. Then at last let's move to the Bakhmut or Artyomovsk. Situation is being developing on the southern flank of Bakhmut. It would seem that after Ukrainians realize that they are unable to penetrate defensive lines on the tactical heights and in the highly entrenched area, they attacked here to the southwest of Klishchiivka, and as a result of those attacks they were able to penetrate Russian defensive lines here in this sector and come extremely close to the Klishchiivka settlement itself. So here you can see that Ukrainians are slowly but surely advancing in the direction of the settlement. As to when Russians will leave this settlement, it is hard to say. Some reports suggest that Russians had already left the settlement and the settlement is in the gray zone, but those sources are scarce and small in number. So I think the best strategy here is to wait out. As always, Russians don't sit idle and counter-attacking Ukrainians to the best of their ability in attempt to save the general situation around Klishchiivka. With a fall of Klishchiivka, the whole southern flank of Bakhmut can be compromised. Anyway, this is the end of the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, I can only ask you to support it with a like, comment, and a subscription. These actions help promote this video to a wider audience, thus spreading the message. Thank you in advance. As always, humanity calls me to condemn all violence against human beings. Have a good day, and always remember, Russia will be free and great.